Okay, this is a great Mother's Day gift idea. Now what I've done is I found this little kind of a metal basket that has these floral patterns on it. I kind of picked through the colors and I chose the orange and the pink. I've added a little hot pink in to brighten it up. And I've got some things to add into this holder. I got my mama claw and a trowel and some clippers and a pair of flower scissors and some gloves. And I've reserved the other two compartments to put flowers in. So what I'm going to do is just take some of this tissue paper. You want to kind of get it not so perfect. You want to fluff it up and take your tools and drop them in and let your tissue paper kind of puff up and take up some airspace. I'm going to go next with the little hot pink. Do the same thing, just kind of crunch it up and put the claw in and fluff that up. Try not to tear it like I just did. And then we'll take some orange. I'm going to fluff that and put the gloves in. So you're just kind of making little cute fluffed up color. Maybe this one will combine the three colors. You can do however you want, just to get each compartment filled. So I'm going to fill this corner. I want to stuff that in there, and I'll put my trowel in there. So now I've got a space. I'll put my scissors over here. And that leaves me with two little compartments to put flowers. So what I'm going to do next, I've got my floral foam, and you've heard me talk about foam before. You want to drop it into the water and let it soak down on its own. You don't want to push it down. You want to let it drink water naturally. If you try to shove it down, it's going to leave dry pockets in it, and your flowers will die really quickly. So what I've placed into these little compartments here are just some drinking cups. They're plastic cups. They fit right in there perfectly. If you have a little glass canning jar, might fit in there, that would work. But I think these plastic cups, they just fit perfectly. They're cheap. So now I've got my foam soaked. I'm just going to cut it so it fits right down inside one of these cups. And then I'm going to cut my next piece. I've cut that. So that fits right down into the second one. So now I've got my two little spots for flowers. And what I'm going to start off with is a filler flower. It's called wax flower. This is yellow. Wax flower comes in white, pink, yellow, lavender. So all we want to do is just take our stems, break it off. You want it to be 6-8 inches long. You don't want it too long. The longer the stem is, the more the water has to travel to the flower, the less time it will last. So if you want it to live for a while, shorter's better. So just cut it about 6 or 8 inches and just start filling your Oasis floral foam. Just start sticking the stems in just to fill your space. You've already got this nice and fluffy with tissue paper, and now you're just going to make kind of like your skeleton for your centerpiece here. So we're putting all this in just to fill airspace. So now you have this kind of fluffy, airy little space. Now you're going to start adding roses. And the roses, these are already cleaned. They're dethorned. And I'm going to cut the stems. Always cut them at an angle. And just start placing the roses kind of about the same length as the wax flower, about 6 to 8 inches long. And I'm just going to place them in. I'll do about 3 in each one. Clean off any bad petals if you see them. I'm gonna put 3. Now I've got, this is basically the skeleton of our arrangement. So we have the general shape, the general idea. Now I'm gonna start adding some hot pink. And I've chosen hot pink. This container has light pink in it, but the hot pink really brightens it up. And I'm gonna show you a little trick with roses. Let's move that to the side. Roses are beautiful as they are, but if you wanna make them bigger and have more of a presentation, you can actually open them. And if they're at room temperature and the petals are a little bit warm, you can just take them and turn them inside out. It's called inverting. And you just take the petal and take your thumb and press down into it, and you just kind of turn it inside out, basically. Kind of like if you were, you know, messing with your dog and you turned his ear inside out. They hate that. But anyway, that's how you do it. And you just keep turning the rose and just take one petal at a time and flip it inside out. And then you take, below the center, kind of open it up, and you go from this little tiny rose to this great big beautiful rose. So that's a little trick that is easily done, doesn't take very long. So I'm just gonna start adding in my hot pink in between. And hot pink and orange is a really great color combination. It's bright, it's happy. People love that combination of color. It's unusual too. It's not something that you would see everywhere, and adding that bright yellow in there, it just makes it really fun and happy. So I'm just gonna keep turning my petals inside out, and I'm doing it very quickly. You'll get the hang of it. It's gonna take a little bit of time just to get used to doing it, but you know, I've done thousands of them literally a month, so it's easy for me. But anyway, you just turn them inside out, and sometimes they're gonna tear. You can see, like when I just did that one, that petal got a little tear in it. That's gonna happen. That's normal. It's not gonna kill the rose. That petal will still drink water, still gonna be okay. So when you see that happening, don't worry about it. Sometimes a rose will be very cold and crisp, and it's not gonna want you to do that. You'll turn it inside out and they're gonna go back to where they were. You know, that's just that rose. Sometimes they won't open. Not every rose will allow you to do that, but in this case, these are warm. They've been sitting at room temperature for a whole day, so they're allowing me to do it very easily. And you give it a little blow in the center and just kind of like puffs open the middle. So I'm just gonna go back and fill in the holes here, and all I wanna do is kind of get some levels going. Always remember, don't put them all, you know, in the same spot. Kind of get them going up and down and get a little flow and a little movement going to your arrangement. If you put, you know, something in a vase, you can use the old method of having all your stems the same. And if they're all the same length and you drop them into a vase, it'll make a perfect arrangement. But in this case, when you're using Oasis, you want to have movement. You want to have the different levels and have things going up and down. Some reason my cat is meowing like crazy. I can hear him in the background. Mr. Chow is wanting attention. Where is Mr. Chow? Can you guys hear that? We're gonna have Mr. Chow come over and take a little bow for the camera. He's being a wild man. Anyway, so you'll get to meet Mr. Chow. You'll see him in some of my other videos. He's always here to help with the flowers. Hear him? Anyway, I'm just gonna keep finishing off this arrangement. I'm adding in all my pink. I've almost gotten this finished. I want to open a few more pink roses. Oh, Mr. Chow, it's not that bad. So, couple more to go. And I might add in another orange one here. We're gonna add this. One more hot pink. And I think this looks good. I think if we check it from every angle, we've got tissue and flowers and color. I might add one more. And this is something that you can't go wrong on, you know. You just keep adding flowers wherever you see a spot that needs it. You're not wanting a one perfect shape. You really want the ups, the downs, you know, ins and outs. You just want to have it be very natural and kind of like a garden, really. You want to have it soft and just have it flow and have movement to it. So here we are, pretty much finished. If you want to adjust your tools so that they're a little bit more visible, you know, I've got, if you look at it from each side, we've got the claw, the trowel, I've got the clippers, the gloves, scissors back here, and you've got all your flowers. And it's a beautiful finished piece. And if your mom or anybody that likes to garden, we can always use these tools. Even if you think they have them already, we lose them in the garden, trust me. So this would be a gorgeous arrangement for your mom for Mother's Day. Say hello to Mr. Chow. This is the crazy one who is in the background making all kinds of racket.